Good morning and welcome to Bars and Bells. My name is Ian.
I'm Lauren.
This is Restore and Recharge. We will start with our feet, talk to those hands, or at least manipulate with those hands. And as always, start slow to stay strong with our body weight today. Lauren, what do you think's up first?
I think we should start with a foot warm-up.
Excellent. That sounds great to me too.
With a chair at your side to use as a balance aid, a bar, or your countertop. Have something to hold on to here as we start in parallel. Let's gently today start by pressing our knees towards over our toes. As we sink here, our knees are extending over our toes, our shoulders are staying over top of our hips, and then we're driving into the floor, squeezing our cheeks and growing up nice and tall. Doing that one more time, we'll press our knees towards over our toe, flexing at the ankles, and then growing to tall. Let's find that first balance. Make your way slowly up the elevator to the top floor and hold. And then we're going to descend just as slow as we came up with those knees nice and straight, those cheeks squeezed in the core brace. Next, let's peel a foot off the floor to that demi-point position. Then we'll use our toes to point. We'll lightly flex over the toes. We'll push into the floor to get the toes back to the tips. The ball of the foot, the heel comes down and the hips extend. Repeat on the other side. Feel that pull off the floor. Then use the toes to point. Gently flex over the toes. Get back to the tips, the ball of the foot, and the heel comes down as the hip extends. We'll do that same thing from that first position. So just gently turning out to your safe turned out place. Let's start again as we did in that parallel, gently sending the knees towards over the toes and then driving up to tall. As we do that again, imagine you're a slice of bread in the toaster and you don't want to get burned. So keep those hips slightly tucked under and your shoulders stacked. As we did previous, we took the elevator up to the top floor, slowly ascending with control, holding up there, seeing the views, and then coming down with the knees nice and straight and slow. Next, we pulled that foot up off the floor to the demi-point. We used our toes to point. We flexed over, back to the tip, the ball of the foot, and the heel comes down, repeating on the other side. As you do this, you keep that turned out leg, so try to show me that inseam. Roll over the toes, stay tall on the standing leg, and back down. And that's one more time, gently plie or bend those knees, and then stretch to tall, and find one more balance up there, holding for 3, 2, and slowly coming down. As much as we want those ankles to be strong and take tension, can you also make them be floppy fish and shake them out? I have one more foot warm up to come, but first,
Feet to hands, those buddy joints. Start with your serving trays at your side, elbows at your side with those serving trays or palms facing up. At the hands or the wrists, extend like that push-ups wrist so the palms shine forward. Are those pinkies in a straight line with the forearm, or do they wing in or wing out? Aim to be in that straight line to start. Then return to level wrists or nice neutral places in the extension. Then take those fingertips and move them towards the inside. Can you still take that radial pulse or see the underside of that forearm? Return to have your fingertips point forwards. This will be a small range, but try to take the hands from the fingers and point outwards. Breathe, create a little bit of tension there, and return to straight ahead. And then that flexion on the wrist is to keep a straight line through the hand, but to bring the palm towards the elbow. Return to a straight line, and then shake it out. We'll come back to that in a second, but first, let's integrate some shoulders. With the hands at the sides, pull the pinkies to touch your sidelines here. Low effort, elevate or shrug your shoulders up, and then low effort, depress or press down fingertips towards the floor. Repeat one more time as we low effort elevate the shoulders up, shrugging, and then push down. Now take the hands and return them out front. Bent elbows could be appropriate here too, but now push through the shoulder blades, protracting or spreading the blades apart, and then retract, squeezing together. Take that rib cage in this moment and just lean forward 1 degree. Then from here, a last time as we protract, spreading those blades around the rib cage, and then finish in our retracted position. With low effort, return the hands to the side. And just like those floppy fish before at those ankles, just wiggle out those arms to give it a little shake. Returning to the feet.
Excellent. This time, bar nearby or in your space, feet together in your first position. Let's point a single leg out just to where we can touch. Tip, tap, tip, tap. Then place that foot down. Toe, ball, heel. Let's pull all the way onto that leg and get to the demi point on the other side. So ball of foot touching, toes are on the floor for now. Now, using your toes in the bottom of your foot, point, and then back to that demi point. Point and demi point. Again, as you do this, try to keep the inside of the heel pointed forward, the inseam pointed forward, your knee nice and straight, and your hip stays level. So no hiking that hip as we do this. In order to prevent that hip hike, reach into the basement. Last one. Then toe, ball, heel. Start pulling yourself across and pressing to the other side. Repeat. Ball of foot, toe point. Ball of foot, toe point. Same rules apply here. Knee is staying straight. Leg is staying in the socket. Hips are level. Reach to the basement in order to create that room in the hip and not avoid using that low back. Ian, have you been counting?
I think one more is like about 6.
Last one. And then toe, ball, heel, pull yourself to center. Next, we'll pull those legs together so much our knees start to bend. Again, we're in the toaster, so don't get burned. Tuck those hips slightly under. Push down, drive up. Pop up, taking the elevator, ride slowly to the top and holding. And then come down nice and slow, knees stay straight. Let's do that one more time. Pull the floor together so much you pull yourself down. Press into the floor to grow tall. Once your knees are straight, your cheeks are squeezed, then push down to go up. Hold. Maybe challenge yourself by looking around the room, moving your head around, coming back to center, keeping the knees straight, and slowly bringing the heels towards the floor. Transferring weight to that point, and then pulling to close the leg together. Excellent. Give that a little shake out.
Returning to the shoulder blades, and then incorporating those arms at the hands as well. Start with the hands at the side. Pull into the body, adducting at that shoulder, and with low effort, elevate the shoulders as a shrug. Now continue to keep this shrug shape, but at the same time, try to reach down and touch the floor. Keep your chin tuck, maintain your breathing, and create tension for stability at the blades. And then relax the effort. Safely stiffen those elbows and drive down through the armpits. Stay down as if you're holding heavy buckets of sand, and then try to shrug, but let that downward action of the scapula or shoulder blade win. For 3, 2, easy on the off switch. Repeating that one more time, a subtle movement here, but hopefully it feels energizing through the shoulder blades and the upper back. Right now, we've elevated the shoulders. Let's keep that shape up and low effort at first, but look to drive down. Pull the elbows to the ribs, stiffen the triceps, and for 3 more seconds, create stability and let gravity place it down where it belongs. Then overwork as if you're holding heavy buckets of sand again. Stay down, stay heavy and anchored, and try to elevate or shrug the shoulders for 3, 2, and easy on the off effort. Let's repeat that same thing to the front. So arms could be bent with those serving trays or fully extended at the elbows. Spread the shoulder blades away. Keep the shoulder blades in that protracted position, but try to draw the shoulder blades together in the back. Activate that armpit for 3, 2,
Activation.
Stay there, but relax. Then retract the shoulder blade and maybe just lean forward 1 degree through the rib cage. And then hang on for dear life with those shoulder blades squeezing, but try to touch the screen in front of you or your training partner for Lauren reaching towards me. Then let the shoulder blades go and reach forward. How heavy are your arms? Pretty darn heavy. Now reach forward, and then isometrically, which means a lot of work but no action in the movement, pull the shoulder blades together. Then let the shoulder blades draw in. This is our last repetition, and stay so tight in the shoulder blade retraction, but try to reach forward for 5, 4, 3, Easy does it on the down, and a little wiggle could feel quite nice. Now, connecting those shoulder blades to those hands. We'll start again with those hands facing forwards and make light fists. Check. Then on the wrist, turn the knuckles to face towards the ceiling. With low effort, do our biceps curl or elbow bend. Take a look at the knuckles. Are they pointing inwards or knuckles, not guns? From there though, are the knuckles facing inwards the way I'm showing here, or are they pointing up to the ceiling? That's more challenging. Let's aim to be right there. Then for 1 repetition, elevate or shrug, and then pull the armpits down. From there, elbow points towards forward. Continue to pull that imaginary rope apart to keep high tension on the wrists. Then return the elbows to the side. Extend on the hand wrist first, then extend on the elbow. By 1%, just squeeze the shoulder blades together. Then reach towards behind you, extending on the shoulder. Keep the elbow in the same position and take those wrists, like push-up style wrists, into our flexed wrists, bending. Then the elbows stay put as you bend. Then pull the elbows down and have them reach forward and pull apart that imaginary rope between the hands, feeling high tension on those wrists and elbows. Then extend on the wrist, extend on the elbow, and retract through the shoulder, pulling down with our little bit of a shake. From there, Lauren, what's up?
Where are we gonna go? Where are we gonna go? We're gonna go do some hips. There's a lot of excitement.
So I think that's a bar thing.
That's a bar thing.
Let's do it.
With your bar at your side, tall on your inside leg. Point your outside leg to the front. Only again as far as you can touch while keeping the hips level and in place. If your hips were that bowl of punch, let's keep the bowl of punch level as we gently rotate the leg open, so inseam towards the ceiling. Then back to center and slowly internally rotate that femur, hiding the inseam. Repeating that one more time. Stability on your standing leg as your other leg opens up. Back to center. Light rotation in without hiking your hips or spilling your punch. Return to the inseam open. Let's draw that quarter circle ending with the leg at the side. Hips still pushing forward. Same thing from here. Gently internally rotate on the femur, hiding your inseam. Then rotate the leg open, inseam forward. Hips stay level. One last time, rotate in, rotate open. We're gonna end on the in on this one and pull both inseams together. Adduct, adduct, adduct. Underneath, now root your feet, squeeze your cheeks, extend your hips, hold for 3, 2, and then relax out of that. Give it a little shake. We'll repeat the same thing on the other side.
I think that's our cue to switch.
So tall again, reaching to the front only as far as you can reach. Rotate the femur open, inseam up. Back to center, internally rotate on that leg, hiding the inseam. Repeat again, rotate open, back to center, internal rotation, and then we'll end with that inseam facing up. We'll draw that quarter circle to the side, sending the leg to the side, the hips forward. Next, internally rotate on the leg. As we do this, try to stay connected to the floor with that big toe. Rotate open. What that'll do is keep your leg reaching into the floor and create the space in the hip. One more time, rotate, internal rotation, and then inseam to inseam, pull underneath. Once there, root your feet, squeeze your cheeks, pull your kneecap up, hold that stable position, and then relax. Woo.
Woo is
Excellent.
right.
I do want to link all those.
We'll link those in a second.
Okay.
The buddy joint of that hip is the shoulder. It's still a ball and socket joint. At the shoulders, let's start this time though with the hands facing behind us or in that pronated grip. 1 repetition, elevate the shoulders as a shrug, and then pull those shoulder blades down. This time, extend on the wrist, so it's a push-up style wrist this time, and follow that with our gentle elbow bend. Elbow tips face forward and index fingers like pointing straight behind us or eventually in front. But for 1 repetition, let's elevate the shoulder shrug and then pull down like a front racks position with a barbell or raising the roof or shooting a basketball shot. Elbow tips face forward From here, reset elbows to the ribs. Gently, of course, flex on the wrist, have those index fingers pointing towards forward, and then casually extend or straighten on the elbow. Lightly retract the shoulder blades together, then extend the shoulders towards behind us. We have those sock puppet or gooseneck wrists, and then from there, we'll extend on the wrist, meaning push-up style. Then bend, flex on the elbow, brushing those hands by the body, and pull the elbows tight together. Armpits stay low, elbow tips face towards forward. And then from here, it's the last time, and we'll extend to flex on the wrist, then extend or straighten elbow, and pull the shoulder blades back as you return the hands to your side. And then, whether it's a wave, a wiggle, shake out those arms, and let's return to those hips to put it all together.
Excellent. Oh,
that's your side.
That is my side. It is my side. All right, let's do one straight leg on each side and then one bent leg on each side. So it's going to be a lot of work on that standing leg. Here we go. Point to the front. Open the leg up, inseam forward. Send the leg to the side, push the hips forward. Internally rotate on that leg, hiding the inseam. Continue drawing the circle all the way around the back. Once out the back, roll over the foot, pass through center, noticing that nothing has to change because you've remained tall on that inside leg. Once pointed out the front, we're going to pull all the way through center to the back. Reaching out the back, keep the hips forward as you rotate the leg open to the side, around to the front, and then the leg will return underneath. And again, nothing had to change because that space stayed the same. Next, we'll bend the knee, keeping the quads parallel, trying to kick our butt. Right now, there's $1 million bill behind that knee. Don't let it drop. Reach the leg slightly back behind you, keeping the core brace. The ankle is going to start to come underneath you as the knee returns to the side. Once the knee is at the side, the foot connects with that calf area. Here, hip pushing forward, close the leg to front. Let's keep that $1 million bill as we pass underneath us to parallel legs. And then we'll reverse it. Knee to the front, knee opens to the side, ankle or foot detaches. The leg, just as we practice, internally rotates. The ankle will lift as you reach around the back, connecting the inseams together, and then straightening the leg underneath and holding for a second, and then relaxing. Some work.
Always that work.
Excellent. Stability on one leg, mobility on the other. Here we go. Point to the front. Inseam rotates open. Leg goes to the side, hips push forward. We'll gently internally rotate on that femur as we reach around the back. Once out the back, roll over the foot. Keep that core braced as you slide underneath. Come all the way through center and point to the front. Now from the front, we go back to center, underneath, out the back, point. Keep the hips forward, rotate open in the socket as that leg comes to the side, and then all the way around to the front and underneath center. Now that we're under center, we'll bend that knee, keeping the quads parallel, picking up that $1 million bill. Reach to the back, rotate open in the socket, knee to the side, foot comes underneath. Once there, close, bringing the leg to the front, keeping the knee bent back to parallel. Then we'll flex on the hip, returning the knee to the front, the foot underneath. Send the knee to the side to create the number 4. Disconnect the foot, internally rotating on the femur. Continue drawing that circle around the back, connecting the inseams again, and then straightening the leg underneath. Hold for a couple seconds straight, gripping the floor, squeezing, and then relax. Woo. Hello, hips.
Hello, hips. We've used those balance aids, but let's take those off to the side if yours does move, or if it's that countertop, just find some open space nearby. I'll be taking over those hips in a second, but Lauren's going to keep the torch here and just check in with the torch-like tension we can create for those abs.
That's my torch.
You. Go for it.
Thank you. To the abs. That means we have to find the floor. To find the floor, we'll do our first forward fold, where abs are actually involved in this activity too. So with a light chin tuck and the shoulder blades retracted, we're going to slowly start curling forward. Now we're in an alleyway, from a toaster to an alleyway. slowly fold yourself forward. Why we're in the alleyway? So that we don't send our hips back behind us, and we try to stay as tight to our body as we can in front of us. Take your time, hang out, imagine tying your shoe like this in the alley. Breathe. Maybe you need to bend your knees, maybe straightening them. Hang out for one more breath. And then we'll make our way to the floor. Hands come down, knees come down. With our hands gripping the floor, fingers spread out nice and wide, shoulders pulled out of your ear, and gently trying to rotate those elbow pits forward. Next, I like to have my toes tucked and my knees under my hips. I'm going to just start pulling the floor together underneath me like I'm rippling the rubber. So I'm pulling my right hand to my right hip and my left hand to my left hip, but nothing's moving. And I'm still doing that for 5, 4, 3, 2, and gently relax. Whew. Let's do the same thing, but in that X pattern. So stay here, start pulling your right hand to your left hip for 3, 2, then pull your left hand to your right hip for 3, 2, then pull both hands to opposite hips for 4, 3, 2, and relax. Whew. Let's press off those hands for a second, but come back to that in 2 seconds. Shaking that out, we're going to come back down and add a little bit of a hover off the floor. So using your hinge, gently place your hands down. Pack your shoulders. Start pulling in that parallel pattern. Keep the tension and try to hover your knees off the floor, or keep your knees down. Hold, pull together for 5. Keep breathing. 3, 2, soft landing. Tailbone tips to the ceiling. Push your hands forward to send your hips back. Hang out in this low squat position. And then we're going to pull ourselves forward in one more core for me. Ooh. So pull yourself forward, hover the knees off the floor, and X pattern together. X, right to left, left to right, right to left, left to right for 4, 3, 2, knees down for a second, tailbone tips to the ceiling, floor pushes forward, lifting the hips up. Gently walk those hands towards your feet. And you're back in your alleyway, so get tight to your body and slowly stack yourself up, one vertebrae at a time. Abs working, head last.
Handshakes as always. Do you have a little bit of room? We can do this in a small quarters as well as a little bit of a laneway here. Lauren's going to start a little bit off to the side here.
Goodbye.
I'll be traveling forward, and so will Lauren. Let's start in that first position. And Lauren already queued us up nicely for our plie squat. Pull yourself down to said height. Then press tall. Repeat though, pulling yourself low. Now transfer your weight to a single leg. Touch the floor the whole time and point the other leg. Land toe, ball, heel. Our horse stance walk is we pull ourselves to the middle and press ourselves to the other side. Stay low, pull, heels connect. Weight transfer, and then point the other leg, land toe, ball, heel. Feel the pull to initiate that movement and finish with a push on the other side. Pull the heels together, weight transfer, point, pull. Feel the adductor and hamstring initiate and finish with the power of the quad and the hip on the other leg, and pull. Stay low and point. Toe, ball, heel as we pull ourselves across here, keeping those hips facing forward. One last time each side, heels together, point, a stiff leg turns into the bent leg, and push off that back side. And last time, heels together, point to the front, pull ourselves in, return the feet together, press away to finish nice and tall with our shake. That's that core sound, Lauren. What do you got?
The floor again. Let's use our hinge. Chopping those hips back. Feet are slightly wider than the hips. We're hinging back. We have that slight anterior tip or tailbone to the ceiling. Feel that load through the hamstrings. Hang out for a couple seconds. And then tip forward. And I really want to emphasize your soft landing on your hands. Don't smash down into those wrists. Not necessary.
Absorb.
Next, let's create those same tensions, but from our plank position. So we'll have our hands under our shoulders. Our toes will tuck in either from the knees or from the toes. Let's lift up. When you're in your plank, you tuck your ribs to your hips, squeezing your cheeks. You pull your right hand to your right hip. And then you pull your left hand to your left hip without moving, that is. And then you pull both hands to both hips. Create that tension, squeeze your butt. I couldn't push you over if I tried. For 4, 3, 2, knees come down. Step your knees just slightly wider than your shoulders. Hup. Tilt your tailbone to the ceiling. Push the floor forward, sending your hips back into that low squat position. You're only sinking as low as you can here, keeping that anterior pelvic tilt. Once you start to round that low back, you've gone too far. Start pulling on the floor, pulling yourself back up into that plank position. Adjust your feet as needed. And right hand pulls to left hip. The left hand pulls to right hip. Right pulls to left pulls to right. Go. X for 4, 3, 2. Tailbone tips to ceiling. Push the floor forward. This time, for an added bonus, walk your feet to your hands. Oh, that's okay. I hinged down, but we're going to unfold up. So your feet are in, push the floor away, and slowly stack yourself up to tall, unfolding.
Tally tall, as Lauren sometimes call that now that we're here. I'm going to start a little closer to the camera now, as we'll be transferring our weight in our backwards horse walk. So start in that first position. From there, let's pull ourselves down. Transfer the weight to a single leg and then reach the alternate leg to the back. A stiff leg. Then pull on it that it stiffens the front. Keep touching the floor. Connect those heels together. Reach towards that 4 o'clock diagonal. Pull, push, reconnect the heels. Same effort to the back. Toe ball heel in the landing and pull through the back leg and press through the front. Then connect those heels. Reach to that diagonal, 4 o'clock or 8, stiff leg. Feel a pull and a push, and then knees connect. Check your space. Do you have room? I might not, so I'm gonna do one more time this way. Reach to the back, pull across, stay in your plie squat, connect heels, and last time, diagonal, pull, push, connect those heels together, press away to tall stand, and done that for the day. Horse style walks create high tension for those hips, control through the feet. All right, stop horsing around. More planking.
More planking.
Or whatever you think is good after that.
Planking. All right, let's get back down via our hinge again. So chip chop on those hips. Take your time. Soft landing. Come on out. Let's establish that high plank tension again, which is 4 points of contact. But then we're going to remove a foot to do 3 points of contact. Dun, dun, dun. Hands under your shoulders, toes tucked, lift up. Tuck under. Pull the floor together underneath you. Squeezing, bracing. Now take a single leg, flick the floor and point to toe. Holding. Or from that modified position, extending a leg at the back. 3, 2. Toe goes down, switch sides. Flick. Hold. As you do this, so you're still tucked under, your hips still square to the floor. Toe down, knees down. Whew, take a second. That light tip towards the ceiling of the tailbone, pushing yourself back. And we'll pull ourselves back up into that plank and repeat that, but for 4 times, 2 on each side. Pull yourself forward, extend, squeeze the cheeks, pull together, flick a foot, hold. 3, 2, place down, switch, flick, hold. 3, 2, one more time each side. Reach long, feel that butt cheek work on that pointed leg. One last time on that 4th side for 3, 2, toes down, tilt the tailbone to the ceiling, lift the hips. Let's use our hinge this time to get to tall. We'll walk our hands to our feet, loading up your hinge position, vertical shins, bump, bump, tall, tall.
Tall, tall. Horse walks are great. That movement clock, also some of our favorites, utilizes that same pull-push pathway while working on our balance. So let's start with your feet in parallel. Start in that low flamingo position, drawing up the leg, point to the front, and like Lauren cued our hands, land toe ball heel, absorb. Then press forward, return back with a straight leg. Then bend it, Open toward that diagonal, then point, hold, because Lauren likes doing that sometimes too. Then toe ball heel. Level hips, push away for power, and assemble together. Knee front, then open the knee to the side. Point, hold, land toe ball heel. Here, just do a little hip hike. Where are those hips level and strong? And press to the side and under. Repeating again, knee front, then knee side, and now the turn happens on the standing leg. Point, toe ball heel. That's a hard balance, that's why I didn't do it. Then press to the other side. Now keep the knees parallel. Gently kick behind, land toe ball heel. Pull the back leg forward and the front leg back for stability, and then press, assembling tall yet again. Alternate your side, pull up. Start small. It doesn't need to be a big stride, and look for that control of the absorption and then that big powerful push away. Pull up, diagonal, point, pause, 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 land toe ball heel. Hips level, then press away for power, assembling together. Pull up, knee side, then point and hold, land toe ball heel, and press, and then knee front, knee side, turn on the standing leg, point to the corner, and land, and press away to return, and then knees stay parallel, toe ball heel on the landing, the back leg pushes forward, the front leg pulls in, then we switch that direction to transfer our weight with those shakes.
Back to the floor for some more core. What more could we do? Don't you worry, it's endless. All right, let's get back in our alleyway and fold ourselves forward. Chin tucks, roll yourself down. Take your time folding forward, vertebrae by vertebrae, keeping those blades lightly retracted, staying tight to the body, hanging out, and then we'll gently bend the knees and find the floor. As we progress the core exercises here, a reminder that you can always stay at the previous exercise. So we started on all fours, then we hovered, then we planked, then we did our 3-point, and now we're going to be bringing our knee underneath of us, which is the hardest we've done so far. So feel free to stay where you feel comfortable. Right now we're tucking our toes, we're lifting up into that plank position. Just like the last plank, we'll have that core tension. We'll flick the floor away with a single leg, but this time we're gonna bring that knee in towards the chest or the elbow and hold, compressing. Imagine it touching your chest as it's here, and then place it down behind you. Repeat on the other side, point. Bring that knee in underneath. Get it as tight to the body as you can, and place it back down. One more time each side. Bring that knee in, hold it for 3, 2, put it back. Last time on the other side, flick. Knee comes in, holds, 3, 2, foot comes down, floor pushes forward, lift those hips up. Again, let's walk those feet to the hands. Try to keep the hands heavy on the floor for as long as you can, and then press through the floor and stack yourself up. Slowly, use your core and your muscles and get to tall. Woo, my abs are on fire.
One last exercise for those hips, and challenge yourself in the open space if you need, but I would recommend the bar or the chair or that counter. It's the internal rotations on those hips to politely make them say, that's a lot of work. So grab onto the bar and we'll work from our feet in parallel first. Take a single leg, that outside leg, and point it to the front.
To the front.
Externally rotate, meaning inseam up, and reach it out to the side. From here though, let's turn in on that hip, hiding the inseam. Stiffen the knee, turn in on the hip. Stiffen the knee, turn on the hip. Keep doing that effort as we continue to reach away from center along the floor. Hold for 3 and feel strong efforts on those lateral hips. Stay in that pose, but relax. By 1 degree or just a little bit of effort, push the hips through. Then effort in the bind to that lateral facing leg and turn in on the hip to hide that inseam yet again. Then for 10 seconds here, light grips on your bar, press away from center. The standing leg is reaching to the bar side. The elevated leg is out to the side, and hold for a second. One last time. Those hips go forward. The leg stiffens and turns in. And one last time, reach away from center, stiffen up, breathe, 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 politely cramp those glutes, then pull those inseam to inseams to finish nice and tall, like it's easy, but give it that reinforcing wiggle to say this is okay. High tension, and also enjoy that relaxation after.
This is okay.
Repeating one last work effort here today. Single leg to the front. It's the external rotation, the kneecap out that gets the leg to the side. And then from there, turn in on the hip. Safely stiffen the knee and turn in on the hip. And stiffen the knee and turn in on that hip. Then gently at first, reach away from center through both legs. Hold your bar. Stay where you are, but relax the effort. By 1 degree or just a percentage point, push the hip through. Then turn in on that laterally facing leg and reach away. Not in the literal sense, but I'm trying to get my leg towards Lauren for 3, 2, stay, but just relax. Then the last effort is those hips forward, the turn in on the lateral facing leg. And for the last time, reach through the ground, turning in on the hip. Can't believe I'm not quivering really with my voice, but it sure feels like it is. And then inseam to inseam, growing tall, finishing like it's easy, and giving that reinforcing, or sometimes very challenging wiggle after that high tension. This has been our Restore and Recharge practice where we explore our body weight strength skills with Lauren.
We're restored.
And myself, Ian.
And recharged.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us today. To our members who are members to our website, thank you very much. Check it out if you're not. To our members on Patreon, also thank you very much. Check it out if you're not. And for those who are not, you better like this video. So give us a thumbs up.
Or subscribe.
Thanks for
Or come
joining.
back.
My name's Lauren.
I'm still Ian.
And together we take care, stay strong, and we'll train soon. Goodbye.
Have a good day.
20